The best Opsgenie alternatives in 2026 are All Quiet, Jira Service Management, PagerDuty, Incident.io, Rootly, BetterStack, and Signal4. Here's the deadline that really matters. Atlassian shuts Opsgenie down on the 5th of April 2027 and deletes all remaining customer data after that. For lean engineering and SRE teams, All Quiet is the closest like-for-like replacement. It's independent, on-call first, priced openly from $499 per user per month, and has an optional EU data hosting in Frankfurt. Teams that are tied to the Atlassian ecosystem probably move to JSM. Large enterprises might have a look at PagerDuty, and Slack-first teams have a look at Incident.io or Rootly. Today, I'll be walking you through all 7, honestly, in about 10 minutes. Hi, I'm Nico, co-founder of All Quiet, and of course, we're also on this list. Today, I'll tell you where we might be the right fit and where we might not be. Please enjoy the video and subscribe down below. Before we dive into it in depth, just some quick facts. Because the timeline really drives your decision. Atlassian ended new Opsgenie sales on June 5th, 2025, and you probably haven't been able to start a new account since then. The full shutdown of Opsgenie is going to be April 5th, 2027. Support will end and Atlassian will delete all remaining customer data after that date. So, the official destination for Atlassian is going to be JSM. But, in all honesty, Jira Service Management is an ITSM ticketing platform. It's not an on-call tool. And most replacements you will find on this list will be more budget-friendly and more focused on your actual use case. Here's the part that teams will underestimate. Migrating on-call schedules, escalation policies, and integrations realistically takes 4 to 6 weeks. Plus, you might want to run both systems at the same time if you're thinking about a migration. Let's work our way backwards from April 2027, and the comfortable window to choose is now, not in Q4 or Q1 next year. Before we dive into the list, let's pick 5 criteria to judge every single candidate on. Migrate your intent and not your chaos. 1. Noise control. Grouping, deduplication, and precise routing. This is why teams actually leave Shutdown aside. Number 2. On-call usability. Easy schedules, rotation, overrides your team can manage without an admin. 3. Migration surface. The API coverage and a Terraform provider decide whether cutover is a weekend or the 4 to 6 weeks I've just spoken about. Number 4. Data residency. If you're in the EU, check where alert data physically lives. Number 5. Of course, total cost. Count admin time and per add-on pricing, not just the sticker price. So let's dive into it. Number 1, that's All Quiet. And I'll be very upfront about this, that's us. All Quiet is what most Opsgenie teams were actually using Opsgenie for. On-call schedules, escalations, multi-channel alerting across push, SMS, voice, email, Slack, and Teams. And of course, noise reduction, without an ITSM platform bolted on. We're an independent company, so there's no ecosystem lock-in and no risk of being migrated into a ticketing suite like you've just experienced it with Opsgenie. The feature surface maps very closely to Opsgenie's daily workflow. It's just maybe a little bit of a modern UI. Schedules, overrides, and multi-tier escalations run through a lean and simple calendar UI, including follow-the-sun rotations and weekend patterns. Critical alerts will break through iOS focus and Android Do Not Disturb on our native app, and smart notification delays will suppress the alerts that resolve themselves. There's a routing engine that matches on severity, integration, labels, and time windows, then mutes, reassigns, or discards test noise without a full execution history. 40 plus inbound integrations with Datadog, Prometheus, Grafana, Sentry, the native cloud providers, plus built-in heartbeat and cron job monitors. The pricing is public. In the US, it's $4.99 to $9.99 on the standard and pro plan per user per month without any sales call. So if you don't want to speak to me, you don't need to. Migration is Terraform first, of course, with a step-by-step guide that most teams run in parallel and cut over within days. And for European organizations, we're a Berlin company with selectable Frankfurt hosting, GDPR compliance, and an ISO 27001. Here's the honest trade-off. There is no built-in ITSM ticketing. Deliberately. We're an on-call and incident management tool. We don't want to be an ITSM and ticketing platform and enterprise suite. So if you need change management boards, ITIL approval chains, JSM will fit better. And of course, we're also a little bit of a younger company than Atlassian and PagerDuty. But that also even might be something you're looking for. Number 2, of course, it's JSM, the official Atlassian destination. If you genuinely need ITSM, it's a very strong product. You have change management, problem management, service requests, asset management, and native ties to Jira and Confluence, which of course Allquite also has, and a purpose import tooling for Opsgenie configurations. So if your ops are already ticket-driven and your engineers live in Jira, JSM consolidates rather than adds a vendor. And when should you rather rethink if you want to move to JSM? Most Opsgenie teams never actually used ITSM. They used on-call and alerting, which is what made Opsgenie really strong. Moving to JSM now means adopting and paying for a whole ticketing platform to keep that single subset for on-call and incident management. JSM Premium runs at about $51 per user per month against our $4.99 or $9.99. A 5 to 10 times difference for the same amount of people that will be using the tool. And of course, the model differs. In JSM, an alert becomes a ticket in a queue. On-call first tools, such as Allquite, page a human through push, SMS, and voice. Let's get to number 3, PagerDuty. PagerDuty is the tool that has defined the category of incident management for the last decade. Nothing matches its depth at enterprise scale. The largest integration catalog, machine learning event intelligence for alert grouping, automation actions that can remediate without a human, service dependency mapping, global reliability. So for an org with hundreds of teams and strict governance, it's defensible default. But we do know that PagerDuty has its flaws. Its price and proportionality. The business tier is about $41 per user per month before add-ons. Event intelligence and status pages costs extra. Most teams that are leaving Opsgenie just use a fraction of the platform but pay for all of it. And without dedicated governance, the alert noise that drove them off Opsgenie just comes right back to you. So if you want enterprise depth and you have the budget, choose PagerDuty. But if you want the on-call core without the enterprise pricing, keep watching the video or skip to number 1. Let's get to number 4 on this list, which is Incident.io. They are the strongest Slack native incident experience on the market. They are declaring an incident, assembling responders, assigning roles, building the timeline, all inside the check channel where the work happens. You don't need to context switch with them. The automated timelines and post-incident reports are genuinely polished. So if your main pain point is chaotic coordination and inconsistent postmortems, it addresses that directly. But also Incident.io does not have a perfection built within. On-call, the thing Opsgenie did is a paid add-on here, which is roughly $10 to $20 per user on top of the response tiers. So the like-for-like replacement lands around $25 to $45 per user per month versus Allquite's $4.99 to $9.99, where on-call is the core product and not an upsell. And it's Slack-centric. So if you're on Teams, Discord, or Google Chat, you might be a second-class citizen in a Slack-first tool. Let's get to number 5, Rootly. Incidents from the process side. Its workflow automation is really deep. Customizable runbooks from the right sequence the moment an incident is declared. You create the channel, you page the team, notify stakeholders, open the ticket. They have a strong post-incident review, integrations with service catalogs like Backstage, and enterprises with mature SRE practices get real leverage from the process rigor. So when might Rootly not be the best fit for you? Rootly's origin is workflow orchestration. On-call and paging are newer additions. And some setups still pair it with a separate paging layer underneath. Allquite is built the other way up. Scheduling, escalations, and multi-channel alerting are at the foundation of our platform, with per notification delivery that shows whether every single SMS, call and push actually arrived on your mobile phone. And Rootly's pricing is sales-led, with Essentials starting at $20 per user per month and no open pricing on critical features like advanced workflows and SSO or SCIM. So let's get to number 6, BetterStack. BetterStack is the consolidation as the pitch. You have uptime monitoring, you have log management, status pages and on-call alerting within one product and, to be honest, a very polished UI. For a small team starting from scratch without any observability stack, the bundle genuinely simplifies things and the free tier is extremely generous. So when is BetterStack maybe not the right fit for you? Most teams that are leaving Opsgenie already have observability. They have Datadog, Grafana, Prometheus or Sentry and need an alerting layer that works with it, not a bundle that partly duplicates it. All Quiet is deliberately vendor neutral. We have 50+ integrations on the inbound side and they are all into one routing engine, so you can keep your monitoring and consolidate only the paging. Pricing differs structurally. BetterStack mixes per responder seats with usage-based charges, so cost scales with your infrastructure. Ours is flat with unlimited alerts, SMS and voice. Last but not least, number 7 on this list is Signal4 from Terraform in Potsdam. The other German option built around one simple idea. The alert reaches a human, reliable, on mobile. They have persistent push, SMS and voice until someone actually acknowledges the incident. It's especially strong outside of classic software operations, in field service, manufacturing, OT and IoT, where responders carry phones, not laptops. It does start at around $9 per user per month and does have GDPR friendly footing. As I said, Signal4 has its upsides, but it is the scope for engineering teams where we see a little bit of a struggle. Signal4 is an alerting tool, while All Quiet is an incident management and on-call platform for software teams. Collaboration, status pages, reporting, and a rules-based routing engine on top of paging with a Terraform provider and 50+ dev stack integration that Signal4's ops-focused model just doesn't target. Signal4 will win when your responders are planned or field staff rather than software engineers and developers. So whatever you're going to pick, run the migration as a parallel project, not a big bang switch. Audit your team's integrations, routing rules, and escalation policies in Opsgenie. Export your on-call history and audit logs early on. That data will be deleted after April 2027. Model your decision that eliminates half this list. Ticket first, meaning ITSM and JSM, or engineering first, meaning alerting and on-call. Have a parallel run. Route alerts to both the old system with Opsgenie and the new tool you might want to migrate to. And confirm escalations fire identically. Now, you need to validate with a game day. Test acknowledgement, escalations and override paths. Then of course the cutover. One integration at a time with a documented rollback. Then you should shut it down, but only after you've confirmed the archives are complete. Let's jump into a few direct answers before ending this video. So what's the best Opsgenie alternative? For lean engineering and SRE teams, it will be All Quiet. It replaces what Opsgenie did on a technical side, but is the way more budget-friendly option on this list. Additionally, you get a Terraform migration path on top. Atlassian committed enterprises will probably go to JSM, complex automation enterprises evaluate PagerDuty, and Slack first either goes to Rootly or to Incident.io. When exactly does Opsgenie shut down? It is April 5th, 2027. New sales ended on June 4th, 2025. Support ends on the shutdown date and customer data is deleted after that. So finish your migration, including the parallel run, well before Q1 2027 to be on time. What's the cheapest PagerDuty alternative? All Quiet standard plan is at $4.99 per user per month and is among the lowest published prices for a full on-call platform with unlimited SMS, voice and push. Signal4 starts at around $9. So compare the total costs and several tools charge separately for on-call or even alert volume. What's the best European alternative? It has to be all quiet. Berlin-based with Frankfurt hosting, GDPR and ISO 27001, so EU alert data will never actually leave the EU. Signal 4 from Potsdam, Germany is also another German option, but both avoid the US Cloud Act exposure of American vendors. And that's the 7 best alternatives to Opsgenie in 2026. The one decision that eliminates half the list is ticket first versus engineering first. Take that decision and the first starting point of your migration path. If you're engineering first and want the on-call core without an ITSM platform or an enterprise price tag at the bottom, that's exactly what we built All Quiet to be. There's a link to the Opsgenie alternative comparison and both Terraform migration guides in the description of this video. So don't wait for 2027, the comfortable migration window is this year. Have a great time and speak to you soon.